Maybe it's that, like saying, what am I going to bomb today? Right? And maybe you write it in your planner. Maybe you tell it was always a starting over Monday. Now I just don't stop. Now I just keep adjusting as I go. Synchronicities in the air. I just got off a workshop I was doing for VIP badasses, and we were talking about tapping, overcoming current limiting beliefs we have in our lives. And if overwhelm and time and perfectionism and procrastination stop you in your tracks on your weight loss quest or business quest, this room was full of women on both those journeys, and every single one of them said that this was their current issue. And I thought, well, that's funny, because I woke up in a ball of fear and perfectionism and procrastination. So I went to an old podcast I had to get some inspiration from self, and had like 3 mindset shifts I took myself through this morning that I want to share with you today. If you're new here, badasses, grab your coffee, put your earbuds in, do your walk-in, doing your dishes, whatever. This is not a polished self-help podcast. It's where I'm thinking out loud while I'm building my badass life, losing weight. I lost 120 pounds, gained 80, losing 100 live again, rebuilding my business, and sharing it all here with you. My promise to you here on the podcast, and as you follow along in Midlife Badassery, is that you take at least one little note of inspiration with you today, one little thing that is going to help you move your life forward. And even if that's just how you're changing your thoughts and how to process it. When I listened back to this podcast this morning, I was sharing from a point in time where I was working in corporate America. Everything was extremely stressful. I did get really good at my time because I also wanted to build this business. And I ended up building this business while I was working this high stress job that demanded a lot from me. Being a mom, like juggling all these things, I really had to learn how to put myself first to lose 120 pounds while I did all of that. And it doesn't happen when you're stopped in perfectionism. So one of the very first concepts that shifted my mind, was so simple, was that there is no perfect. And this part comes from listening to John Ackoff's book, Finish. There was a lot of game-changing shit in there for perfectionists, but this is the first one that really hit home for me. That line about perfect, there is no thing. Think about it, you guys, because once you get there, you just continue to level it up. And that's because we're growth-seeking beings. We're wired that way. We're wired to want to get to the next goal. So there just is no perfect anyway. So if we can embrace imperfect is the new perfect. Imperfect is your new end line. Your end line is getting the shit done imperfectly, as beautiful as that can be, and allowing yourself to be that way. Carrie in our group today was a great example of this. She has just started the MEfirst guide process, and part of our mantras is a step away from perfect. Something's better than nothing. Just little tiny steps will move you forward. She said, I see my brain, if I miss a day, want to beat me up, say, oh, well, screw it, you didn't do it. She's like, before I would have just started next week. But now I'm saying, hey, it doesn't even matter. I can do it later in the day, or I just wake up tomorrow and start, because we don't stop. We don't let one little missed vote in the bucket for that thing we wanted to do mean we're a piece of shit and we failed and we're never going to get back up again. And so we might as well start Monday, right? So that's the first biggest thing, allowing yourself small, imperfect action. Something is better than nothing. And if I miss it, I just keep going. There is no missing if you just stay on the ride. You get up and do the next best action. Of course, you guys, this brought me into Einstein time. Hold on, I got to share my cup. If you've been around me at all, I say I am time so much because I made this such a big shift in my life that my daughter sent me this mug. Can you see it? It says, I am time. And that's a picture of me with a bunch of clocks around it on the mountain. Because I teach my kids how to make time, just like I teach you guys how to. This is the concept. And this is from Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap. I have there were all these golden nuggets at the beginning of my journey that are still so relevant today. If you ever notice, when you're in pain, that 1 minute can seem like 5 hours. And when you're in love, you're having so much fun. Those 5 hours feel like 1 minute. It's all relative to our experience at that time. We're the ones that put constraints on it. So we can realize and start to prioritize what's important and what do you not want to show up for that you are showing up for. So often we are worrying about a bunch of things that don't even need to be done anyway. Another one of the big things I learned in Acuff's book was to plan to fail. Like plan to actually bomb things. And this is so empowering. I added it in my MEfirst guide planner. There's a little line at the bottom with a bomb on it on the task list. And this is to challenge yourself to pick one thing every day that you're not going to do. Here's what this looks like, you guys. I wake up in the morning. Oh my God, I got to do laundry. I got to clean my bathroom. I got to clean my kitchen sink. I need to create all those copy. I need to do videos. I need to, right? And your brain is just spinning in this overwhelm. And so when I go through my process in the morning, I'm brain dumping all of that and try to brain dump it weekly. So I wake up not in overwhelm and know what I'm going to do that day. Let's pretend like that's not even done. And I just have all these things my brain is spending this energy on that I don't even necessarily care to get done, or it's not going to get done anyway. And then I'm just carrying it and worrying about it. So to put in my planner that I'm going to bomb doing laundry today, I see I have all these other competing priorities, and these are more important to me. And when I was losing my weight, like when I was losing the 120 pounds and really starting to figure out how to step away from perfect in this procrastination era was critical, because there's not enough hours in the day unless I'm making a shit ton of time for everything I say want to do. And how do I prioritize myself first and then fit the other stuff in? Being really clear with yourself about what you actually want to do. What are your drop deads, your priorities for that day, and being realistic about it. This sets us free from so much. And then intentionally planning to fail. So if you take a nugget from today saying, what am I going to bomb today? Right? And maybe you write it in your planner. Maybe you tell your friend, your kids, I'm just not doing that. I said I was going to vacuum. I'm not vacuuming. Yesterday, I had a call in the morning that kind of interrupted my flow. I went and I ate lunch, and this is my new system I came up with for lunch mode, I call it, where I pick 3 easy things to come back to and I tap first. But I decided I'm going to demo lunch mode. This is what I came up with to help with my overeating at lunchtime because I'm avoiding coming back to work. So I'm going to engage it, initiate it in my co-work buddy on Chatty and show you guys how I do this. You can see I'm in work chat up here, and I have this program to initiate lunch mode. I'm going to say lunch mode initiated. And then it should take it away. So here we go. It's thinking. Bear with me. Okay. Lunch mode initiated. Before you leave, tap with me. Sleight of hand. Even though my brain wants to keep working, it's safe to stop. I don't have to hold everything in my head. The podcast is almost done. The ads will still be there when I return. It's missing tapping points. We're going to have a discussion. Lunch helps me come back clear, focused, and ready. I can pause without losing momentum. Anyhow, you get the idea. So it gives me quick 3 when I get back. Open CapCut and add the first marked B-roll. So I'm just putting some B-roll in today. Add the planner bomb and start the final export. 3 quick, easy steps so that when I come back, I know what I'm doing and engaging in to help overcome perfectionism, procrastination, overwhelm. Just getting started is half the battle. Back to, and I tap first. But because of how this call arranged, I didn't even head into lunch mode because technically I hadn't even started working yet. And it didn't happen. After lunch, I just totally cashed out, you guys. And this morning I woke up spinning in a little bit of that shit. seeing the shame and I didn't show up for what I wanted to get done yesterday, and releasing myself from shame and judgment really quickly, because that doesn't help. I just start tapping like right away. That's my new thing. I just tap everything. And so I just start tapping through, hey, this is okay. We don't not get up and not perform for a week because I had one day where I didn't show up for something. It's okay. How do I get back up as my best self today? How do I rearrange things to make that happen? And what can I do in the future going forward if I really need to show up for certain things I'm creating to protect my time better or protect that time I'm in energy? But the big mindset shift there is immediately seeing the shoulda, woulda, couldas, I'll start again Monday. Oh, well, I already effed up the whole week, so I might as well do it some other time, right? All of that is gone in process, right? This is like, how do I get up in each moment? Oh, I overate. I'm way up on the scale this week, you guys. And back in the day, like Carrie was saying about her plan, that might have meant, oh, fuck it, I've already screwed it all off. This is over. And this is all relative, right? Because if I look at the whole amount I lost this year, I'm like 30 pounds. So to be up 4 pounds from where I was, I'm still down 26 pounds, right? Like, so it can all be relative, but how your brain perceives it initially and how you choose to keep thinking it can be different things. I wrote myself through that this morning. Well, this is part of the path. This is part of me adjusting and getting back in the synchronicity and getting back in the groove of working for myself again, putting my body first. Because what happened, and I can see so clearly, I started to get in this time restriction, perfectionism about work, and I've been in heavy work mode and let some of my MEfirst stuff slip, which is where I get up and move my body every morning, where I'm meditating, where I'm journaling. When some of this part gets cut out of my morning or when I have to condense it, I have found myself overeating more. It's not a coincidence that when I stop taking care of myself first, that happens. And it doesn't matter if I'm working for someone else or for myself. Now I'm determined to move through it. I have a different set of goals. I'm a different person now. And being able to see those things, identify them, and move through it without worrying about being perfect, with showing up here, just riffing an imperfect podcast, right? With just being able to step into that place of one little thing. Just what's that next little move? Something is better than nothing. Step away from perfect. When we spiral, the time you spiral collapses and gets shorter and shorter as you get closer to your goal. So, for example, losing weight, if I would get off plan, the more and more I practice showing up for my plan, the less time between when I got back at my plan was. I just was like, no big deal. Oh, okay, I overate there, big deal. I'm in the next meal. I just take care of that. Versus weeks later, months later, during my 300-pound ball of misery, it was always a starting over Monday. Now I just don't stop. Now I just keep adjusting as I go. And the time between when I will spiral or when I will have a time where I end up in a heap of procrastination gets much lower between the time I get back up again. I hope there was a little tip, a little goodness in here for you somewhere. Follow, subscribe, comment. We're slinging all our habits here, and I'm not stopping, so hop on the ride.